What's going on, guys? Wanted to come to you guys this evening and talk to you about a blog post I made last night. Last night. And I wanted to talk about something kind of controversial in a lot of ways. And that is, and that's what the blog post is about. It's called To Begin With. And what To Begin With is about is, kind of the way that women see themselves as certain women, not all women, see themselves as oppressed. And what I mean by that is they see themselves as a victim of men, of this, the male patriarchy, the masculine, toxic masculinity, and other forms of bullshit. Quite honestly, I'm not saying there aren't toxic traits that men display at times, but the fact of the matter is, there are toxic traits that come from men, women, that are out there. And as a matter of fact, I think we're doing the world, in a way, a disservice for not dealing with certain forms of what I call toxic femininity. The overbearing mother, the victim, which is kind of right now, the problems that I see going on right now have to do a lot with toxic femininity. The oppressed woman, which in a way they use that for power, because you if you're oppressed, you have this power, in a way, this weapon to kind of wield to other people, and bash other people over the head with it like a club, in a way. And we kind of there's this level of almost like an oppression Olympics going on right now. Women are oppressed, but not as much as black women. And black women are oppressed, but not as much as black trans women. And the list goes on and on. And so, the fact of the matter is, women are seen in a way, or they see themselves in a way as a suppressed class. But in a lot of ways, that is what I consider toxic femininity to be, is, this kind of negative, overbearing, condescending, always the victim person. That is, that can be men and women. That whoever's pushing that point at that time. But the article, to begin with, is about, again, men and women, and about how women kind of, especially leftists, kind of and I'm not trying to be mean, but that is the group I'm kind of hinting at right now, see themselves as this big victim class, this big oppressed class, and they use that victim class to kind of shame other people into submitting to them, to what they need, to what they want. And it's like they get mad if they don't get it. They get really upset if people look at them. They're like, yeah, nope. They use things like, what do you know? You're a man. You definitely can't have an opinion on abortion or anything else because you're a man. You're a man. And on top of that, you're a damn white man. So you definitely can't have an opinion on that. Like that qualification matters, at all. Like that qualifier that you put on there, that white does not matter. Man doesn't matter. The fact of the matter, ladies, we're going to have an opinion, regardless of what you think, regardless of whether you think we ought to have an opinion on something or not. We're going to have an opinion. And the reason why is because unless you live under a rock, or unless you are a rock, you're going to have an opinion on pretty much everything. I mean, if you're told about something, if I tell you right now about something, within seconds, you're going to start forming an opinion on something, based on your life experience, your life skills, your whatever, the things that have happened to you, and your moral, code, I guess you could say. That's how you formulate the opinions that you have in life. And, but I mean, this whole class of women, in a way, is like, and of people in general, this whole victim class is like, well, what do you know? You're not a woman. You're not black. You're not this. You're not trans. You're not homophobic. You're not homosexual. You have no idea. You're homophobic. You're transphobic. You're sexist. You're racist. Whatever it is. I mean, it's always something. There's always like some kind of something that we're labeled with if we have an opinion, and we're allowed to have an opinion. We are on those things, as long as they agree with you. That's right. I mean, really, in a way, as long as our opinions agree with yours, you're fine with us having an opinion. You're like, as a matter of fact, you're like, take that sign and go down the street and march with it. Yeah, have that opinion. Use your voice to help us, to help our cause. But if we use our voice to help the conservative side, like anti-abortion or whatever, it's like, oh my God, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You have no reason to speak. None. Shut your mouth. It's the same thing with numerous other issues as well. So, I mean, again, guys, girls, we're going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to have an opinion. And there are guys out there that have opinions that go along with yours. Be happy you have those guys that go along with yours. But the guys that don't try to make them feel bad. Don't try to shame them because of they're not men, because they have a penis. Don't try to shame them and say, well, you're not, you didn't, you don't have a vagina, so you can't form an opinion on this. You can't vocalize an opinion. Or you got little dick energy. You have no idea what you're talking about. Look, we're all going to have opinions on things. And sometimes they're not going to be the kind that you have. And you're going to have to deal with that. As adults, we're going to have to deal with the fact that some have opinions on something, some have opinions based on in one direction, other ones don't. And laws are going to change. Things are going to move back and forth and whatever. And if you want them to change, again, the way that you believe, you're going to have to change people's minds, because people vote. And they vote for people who put more conservative judges on the Supreme Court. You know, they're, and I'm no Trump fan. I've never really been a Trump fan. It's not that I dislike Trump. You know, I'd sing some of the ways he does things or speaks about certain things can be honestly kind of the same as you guys, kind of condescending in a way. You know, kind of dismissive of the other side of things. So, you know, I get it. But you also have to understand why people like Trump are put into office, why he's voted in. You have to understand why that is so. Because you talk to people like, and you say things like, "What, you don't have an opinion? You shouldn't have an opinion on this. You're a white man." That's why. That's why people like that get in office. And again, I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying that I even was a big Trump fan. But the fact of the matter is, that's why people like that came into office. And, you know, there are certain things in the policies that I definitely actually agreed with. But the way he talked to people and that kind of stuff, I thought he was definitely lacking in lacking in quite a few areas. But so were you. And the fact of the matter is, we need to be able to talk, get together and respectfully talk. And some things we'll change our minds on, and other things, maybe others, will change our minds on. But the only way to get there is to respectfully talk to each other about what those issues are in a calm, rational manner, and put our arguments forward, our valid arguments, put them forward, and talk about things, and allow there to be a certain level of discourse between people. And, you know, and that's the only way we're ever going to even begin to kind of bridge that gap, is if we start to talk. And I think right now we're kind of at a point to where I think we're realizing on so many different issues, we've got to talk. Because if we don't, things are just gonna freaking explode. And, you know, this side's gonna be mad at this side, and we're gonna find ourselves in the freaking hell that we've been in for so many freaking years now. So, you know, again, guys, look, try to get together and talk. And if you can't come to a consensus, then that's the way it is. And that's the way it's going to be. But anyways, you know, try to love each other. Try to work things out the best way you can. And if you can't, love them anyways. But anyways, guys, if you would, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.